Welcome everybody to Bridges of Light International. I'll be waiting for a couple of minutes to see who will connect for starting tonight. Is 6 p.m. Italian time, and today is a wonderful evening, very sunny, and I'll be waiting for a couple of minutes, as said, to see who is connecting, because as a video, of course, I would like to have a conversation with you. Tonight we are again with EFT, as you know. Some people connected at the very beginning for my first video, in which I explained exactly what EFT is. And today, before starting, as soon as I can see someone, I hope I can see the comment, because sometimes recently Facebook is not working in a proper way, so unfortunately I couldn't see people that were commenting. So let me have a look here. Okay, so just to double check. Okay, I cannot see any comment, so maybe you are not posting anything, just listen. And okay, so as I said, tonight we are going to talk about destructive emotions. About every time we talk about EFT, we are talking, of course, about emotions, as you know, because EFT is emotional freedom technique. So is about the freedom, so to be free from some emotions that don't allow us to be to connect with our real self. Okay, so just as said at the very beginning, we talk about negative emotions, but generally speaking, we cannot talk about negative or positive emotions, but we can talk about the fact that some emotions have control on us, and they don't allow us to have a proper life, a happy life. And most of the emotions that we called negative actually are simply emotions linked to our past, to our childhood, especially, as explained in the previous videos. Okay, someone is here with us. Okay, Sonia, good afternoon. So I can see that is one person is just posted something. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you as well. I'm just waiting a couple of minutes to see how many people join us, and try to start when let's say we can wait for 5 minutes, something like that, and then we can start. As I said, tonight I'm going to talk about emotions that can be destructive not destructive, about be too overwhelming, something that is about the distraction. Okay, so we can't live in a joyful way. So as usual, I need your collaboration. So because tonight is quite general topics, so I can start to ask you if in this period of time you are feeling some emotions that are too much for you and that you cannot control, or even better, they just control you, and you are not able to perform in the normal way. So if some of you want to write down some emotion that is really destructive and has got too much space in their life, please write down this, and then we can start to do something for this emotion together with EFT. So I really need your collaboration, and of course I will start anyway, because I'd like to show you how it works, but it could be much better if you write down something about yourself, in the meaning of, okay, in this period of time I feel fear for that, I feel overwhelmed, I feel stressed, even though we will have another video altogether about stress. So something specific is going to be on the 20th, I think, on the 20th of July. We will have other two meetings together. It will be on the 20th and on the 29th. So, and then of course I will not be here in August, and let's see what happens in September. Okay, so I will wait for, let's say, maybe 2-3 minutes if you want to share with us some emotion that for you are too much, either in this period of time, so something very specific, or even if there is some any emotions that actually is pretty let's say on a daily basis, because there are a lot of people that during the day feel a little bit with some kind of emotions, okay, or some kind of thoughts as well. I would like to remind you that any emotions that we feel, they're not coming up like that because we think that any emotion is coming up like that. No, it's not exactly. It doesn't work in this way. The emotion shows up connected to a special thought or connected to an action. Can be our action or any other person action that remind us something happened, for example, in the past, or something that inside us is not completely healed. Okay, so I will go with some examples, okay, because I don't see any comment here. So let's see which kind of emotions can be very difficult to manage. Okay, first of all, we have a lot of problem with the fear. Okay, fear, of course, is a very general emotion, so we can have a fear of a lot of things. Okay, Mariella, good evening. nice to see you as well, Mariella. Okay, I was just saying that tonight is a pretty free topics, because we are going to talk about destructive emotions. So those emotions that really don't allow us to perform in a very let's say joyful way. Okay, so some emotions that have got such a kind of real, like we feel like real persons, that in reality don't allow us to perform in the way we like. So it's a pretty free evening, so I have just invite you to write down any emotion that you can feel, for example, today or yesterday, or some emotion that are they are a kind of companion during your day, in the past days, or even in the past month, or whatever. If I won't see any destructive emotion here, I will start on my own, and I was just starting actually. So which kind of emotions are really difficult to manage? Okay, first of all is the fear. Okay, fear of course is a very general emotion, so we can have a fear of a lot of things, especially in this period of time. A lot of people, many people had or still have fear of illnesses, of diseases. So this is a very strong fear, because it is about the fact that we are alive or not. Okay, something that is connected to the rectile part of our brain. So fear. Another emotion, very let's say not easy to manage, is hatred, for example. Okay, then another emotion that we say is under a big part, like be anxious. Be anxious actually doesn't mean a lot, because we become anxious because of some other emotions that are underneath the anxiety. So we are anxiety because of something. Okay, so because of, for example, fear. This is a very good example. If we feel the fear of a disease, just to say that, of course, okay, we are anxious about that, about the possibility to not feel well. Okay, so as you can see, anxiety is a too much, is a too large spectrum about emotion. So I was saying another emotion quite difficult to manage is a disappointment. Okay, disgust, hatred. So feeling hate towards someone or something is a very difficult emotion to overcome and also to manage. Okay, so other feeling, other emotions very difficult is the feeling of to be unworthy, for example. Another very strong emotion, to feel completely not enough, not good enough, not beautiful enough, and so on. So if no one of you wants to share with us any emotion that is feeling at the moment, Also inadequate, for example, is another emotion, is they are coming, okay? So I will start, maybe I will finish, I don't know how it will go now, if some of you wanted to put some comments. I'm going to talk about the fear, so I will show you how we can use EFT when we have fear, okay? Because of course, as usual, I'm going to use some sentences, some words that I have already heard from other clients or people that I know. Okay, there is someone that I experience disappointment due to my personal circumstances. Okay, so there is a suggestion. Okay, so disappointment, is a very common. Disappointment is very common. Why? Because is about an idea or that we think we have about something, an idea, something that we think it will be in a way that we expect, okay? So can be also a kind of an illusion, okay? No, we think that, for example, that person will ask us out, okay? It's just an example. And if this person won't be as we expect, then we have a disappointment. Okay, someone else is writing last events which have changed our lives, but okay. In the first step, okay, have created our mind sense of anxiety, panic and nervousness. Exactly, okay? So we have here, thank you very much, we have a disappointment, even though I don't know why the disappointment raises, okay? This is very important. Why is important? I will just remind you. When we started to use EFT, we need to be very specific, very specific. So if I feel disappointment, why? What happened to me? Where I felt disappointment? It can't be like that only, I feel disappointed. Okay, why? What happened to you? Who created in your life this disappointment? It's you? It's another person? What happened? What happened? It's very important. Be specific, okay? And I remind you again, because we need to be so specific, okay, we need to give a number of for the intensity of that emotion. I'm sorry to repeat all the time the same things, but if we don't follow these very easy steps, unfortunately we cannot have results, okay? Very important. Specific and give a number for the intensity about the emotion we are feeling, okay? And of course, even better, if we feel this emotion in a part of our body, we need, okay, to understand in which part of our body this emotion is. And even better, if we can give this emotion a color, is even better. So a color or a shape and a shape, okay? And is now the idea is even more specific, okay? So we can face the emotion in the right way, because the aim is I want to understand where I am, why I'm feeling in such a way, and if I can feel less of this emotion that is creating a lot of problems in my everyday life. And as said a lot of times in the previous video, to understand what is in reality underneath, because the first emotion that we feel generally is not the main emotion that is overwhelming us. There is something else underneath, okay? So let's say I like to use this suggestion about disappointment, but I need to be, of course, not so specific, and because I don't know, but let's say in a general way. But please, in the moment that you are following exactly what I'm saying, it's much better that on your own you say exactly what happened about the disappointment, okay? So let's start. First of all, a very big breath, very important, because the breath, the breathing is very important, is helpful for us to ground, okay? And just feel this disappointment. Where do you feel this disappointment in your body? So Sarah, if I'm right, is the person that suggested disappointment, okay? So if Sarah wants to write down where she feels this disappointment in her body and the number of the intensity of this disappointment, could be very useful, because when we finish the first round we can check if the disappointment is always the same intensity or if low down, okay? So let's start. Even though I feel disappointment, I feel disappointed for the circumstances that happened to me, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel disappointed because of the circumstances that happened to me, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel strongly disappointed for the circumstances that happened to me, I love and accept myself anyway. Thank you, Sonia. This disappointment in my chest, this disappointment, I feel really disappointed for what happened to me. I feel it on my chest. I really feel disappointed. This disappointment. I need to accept I feel disappointed. I really feel disappointed. I'd like to not feel like that, and I feel guilty because I feel disappointed. This disappointment in my chest. I cannot breathe properly. I'd like to not feel like that. I feel completely overwhelmed by this disappointment. A deep breath. Okay, so now okay, so Sonia, thank you very much for your, I try to see into me. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm saying, okay, Sonia said in her chest 7. Unfortunately, Mariella, I cannot see all your, okay, now I can see all your comments. Okay, thank you, Mariella, for sharing. So Mariella actually has got less disappointment, so we are now working on the dark side of the emotions, as I said at the very beginning. So this part of videos are about our let's say the part where our emotions are not sorted out. Okay, so fantastic, Mariella in some way has sorted it out, but tonight is about facing all the emotions that are for us overwhelming, that for us are not so good. Okay, so this is the aim of these last videos and also these videos as well. Because why EFT first of all focus on the negative part, because this is what exactly happens to us. So if Sonia has been disappointed by something or someone, is completely useless if she doesn't face it, she doesn't understand it, if she doesn't listen to this. It's very, very important, because it's something that has happened in her life. Only after face it, then we can go, okay, but we need like to clean, okay, like for example, you can imagine a chimney, okay, the chimney after all winter, the chimney that, okay, fantastic, the fire, winter evenings, but then needs to be cleaned, okay. If we will leave the chimney completely like that after the winter time, then we will start the new season, the new winter season, in a very not good way for the chimney and for the people that are going to use it. So exactly is for us. We need to clean, okay? Everything is bothering us, is disappointing us, okay? All this stuff that we call the negative, okay, they are very important because they are a bridge, okay, to go and to leave all of this negative emotion, okay, just behind us, okay. So thank you, Mariella, for your sharing. Okay, I'd like to know something from Sonia, if the disappointment is still 7 and if it's still on the chest. Okay, very, very important. As you can see, I couldn't get into more specific things because I don't know anything about the disappointment. But it's very, very important that when you are doing that with me, you use exactly the words that you want to use. You need to be specific. Sorry if I repeat this all the time, but it's so important. Okay, I'm going to drink a little bit water. Okay, because also I remind you that we need the water all the time. We do this. We need the water. Very, very important. Okay, drink the water, and because all the energy is going around. Okay, I'm waiting for Sonia. Okay, and see if Sonia can share with us the results of this first round. Okay, I'm going to wait if Sonia is still with us, or if someone else wants to suggest something else. Any questions about the round that I've just shown you? Okay, so maybe Sonia is not anymore with us. I don't know. So an important thing, because I just I've been inspired by Mariella. Okay, Mariella is talking about something good that happened to her after all the things that not so beautiful about this period of time. But she said, okay, but despite of this period of time, I have found a way to be more connected to myself, less disappointed. So she reached something important. Okay, it means that maybe she has done a lot of work with herself, either with EFT or some other techniques. This is okay. When we have found something that has been, let's say, left behind us, then we can use EFT in a positive way. Like, I feel, even though I felt so disappointed for what happened to me, I have reached now a very joyful place, and I love and accept myself in this moment of my life. Okay, so we can use it in a positive way, but never ever before that we have sorted all the problems that we just were into. Okay, I really hope that it is very clear for you, because it's not being negative. Okay, it's not about that at all. It's about to be realistic and then going towards, because it's like for example, most of you know Louise Hay. It is, I love her. Unfortunately, she's not anymore with us, or in this life, of course. And she was very, very famous. She was a pioneer about positive thinking. It's fantastic. But actually, if we don't feel positive, really, in reality, positive inside ourselves, inside, in the deep part of ourselves, in reality, nothing change around us. So it's very important, because we are energy. So if the energy inside us doesn't change, nothing change around us. Okay, this is why with EFT we need to start with the negative part. Okay, so I think that everything is quite clear. I would love if you leave some comment under the video, if you practice, and you can let me know how it works for you, this fantastic technique. And I will see you on the 20th for a new topic. I thank you, all of you, to be with me tonight, and I see you soon. Bye.